The world turned upside down, shocked, terrified, at a loss.
Yeah, it was not easy for us. First, we don't fully understand what is this transgender that my child is bringing up. And it came as a big shock when we received this news from her, actually. Yeah.
I did a lot of research. I went to seek help from so-called traditional Christian leaders. I went to speak to so-called more liberal people like you. I went to see professional counselors. I went to seek help from medical experts. I even accompanied my child to see her doctor, her psychologist. I went to do a lot of reading up. I bought books on this area. I talked to people. And all this seeking helped me have a clearer picture of what it's all about. That helped me. Having friends who are supportive also helped me. Having a very loving husband who is also a doting father helped me a lot.
I think one of the key things for us is the strong relationship that Moey and myself that we have. And of course, the love for our child, and most important, the love of God. You know, we felt that God has given to us a child like Claire, and she is unique and wonderfully made. So whatever struggle that she's going through, we want to walk this journey with her. So of course, like what Moey said, we have seek different input and different opinion. I'm glad that my wife really did all the study because I was really very busy with my work. But I read through and we discuss over all the findings that she has, and in a way we have we understood what is transgender, this whole thing, a lot much better because of this finding out together. Help us to understand a bit more. And most important, I would say also is we saw the pain and the struggle that our child was going through as she struggled through this whole process of being a transgender. It pained us a lot. I think the pain that we see in her, the joy that used to be in her when she was young, was really disappearing, and we were very concerned. And out of our love for her, we went out to find out more. And of course, the support from friends, Christian friends, definitely has helped us a lot.
I think one more thing is that we met the parent of another transgender person who also comes from a traditional Christian background, similar to us. And that really helped us a lot.
Can you say more about that?
It means that we are not alone. When we first knew about this, Claire wanted to start on hormone therapy immediately, and we said, no, give us time. So she waited for about a year before we said, okay, you can go ahead. And it was during this 1 year that I did a lot of research. I think one question that haunted me was, if I embrace my child, am I compromising on my faith? That really troubled me a lot. And after doing a lot of research, and most important, talking to my child, getting to know her, listening to her, understanding what her issues are, not just talking to her, but seeing actually how she struggled with the emotional pain that comes from the discomfort, the distress with the body, seeing my child cry and roll in pain and tearing her hair and on the point of breaking. Together with all the so-called information gathering I have done, I've come to a point where I am at peace and I feel that I can answer to God, even if I make a mistake. I mean, I don't have all the answers, but I think I have reached a point where I'm, like I said, at peace.
I think what is important through it all is that with all the facts, I think there are always so much pro and con. Going into it, you realize that we don't have the full detail, all right? I think There's still a lot of unknown. And I think we are, like what Moy has said, we are at peace today. You know, after looking at it, I think the best thing we can do is to love our child as she is and to walk this journey together with her. And we're at peace to do it with her in this particular case. Yeah.
When you have a child who is transgender, then she's not the only one who is affected. The whole family and our friends and our relatives, we have to kind of explain to everybody what happened. I mean, we are fortunate in that my two other kids were very supportive. My 80-over-year-old grandmom, we were very worried, but in the end, she was accepting, and she said, so long as Claire is happy, she's accepting. So I'm thankful for that. Then the other thing is our relatives and our friends. Chinese New Year's, festive. So I do a lot of explaining. And then our church friends, I remember after the final transition, after the surgery, in fact, before the surgery, we told our friends exactly what happened. I wrote a very long letter and distributed to them and asked them to read. And then asked the church people to pray for us. After the surgery was over, we invited our church cell group and my daughter to have a meal together so they could meet Claire in person. In this way, being transgender is no longer a theory, but they get to meet a transgender person face to face and it becomes life. And I feel that this whole process has been able to open up the eyes of my friends, my Christian friends, who may have their preconceived or ideas about what being transgender is, but through all this, they are able to see in person, and that has helped a lot.
I would say that, like what we have gone through in our early days, you do not need to walk the journey alone. I think there are many family that has walked through this journey. Ourselves, as an example, we have our up and down. We have our struggle. There are things that we did right. There are things that we did not do right. There are many lessons that we have learned, and reach out to other families so that you do not feel lonely, and to know that this journey. There are people who can walk beside you as well. And as what Moy has said, we were really grateful that we know of another family who has a transgender child. And just by knowing that, just from their simple sharing, we were really encouraged. And subsequently along the way, God has brought different people with different challenges with us, to walk with us. And we're just grateful on this point.
And one more thing I find to be very helpful was talking to my child. I have to tell myself to come with an open mind. I have to tell myself to set aside my biasness and to just talk and listen and understand what her struggles are, the reason why she wants to transition. Then I understand, like for our case, that my child is not doing this out of rebellion, that this discomfort, this distress with her body is really driving her nuts, so that helped me to accept.
I think for our where we are, the journey up to today, I think there's one thing that are quite important. I remember when Claire wrote to us the letter, that she wants to transit. All right, we flew down to see her immediately. All right, over Christmas period, and looking at her, we talked to her. I think Moy spent a bit of time talking to her, and there was 3 things that we expressed to her. Maybe you want to share.
Yeah, we told her that whether you are transgender or not, the 3 most important things she has to remember is 1, God loves her no matter what. 2, we love her no matter what. 3, we want her to live out to the fullest that God has given her to live out to the fullest potential that God has given her.
So what we have done all these years is that Moy has taken time, spent a bit more time with her. We have taken time we introduced her to FCC. I think that's something that we could do to her for Singapore. When she was overseas, we also took time to connect her with the local church. All right, and they were very accepting, and those were the time where I think she has helped her to continue to walk in her faith. I think that's quite important for her. And of course, what Moy had shared earlier with our cell group, I think that was something that is quite important. I'm really grateful that our cell group was able to accept her as she is, and I think what is important is to in a lot of cases, in our cases, is that they saw a person. They have seen her before and they have seen her now, and just glad that so she's looking at a person that is fresh and blood, and that is important.